Hey friends, happy Friday. Thanks for joining us for this 13 Plus FastCast. I'm Anna Orsini, and we have Allie Potter here with us today because we are talking all things fall. I'm wearing my fall seasonal colors. We're not seeing any of the leaves falling from the trees or the cool breezes, but getting into a more fall-like pattern, not seeing triple digits.
Exactly.
And fall officially starts tonight, correct?
Yes, exactly. So let's actually dive on into this graphic because shy of that midnight hours exactly when we say adios to summer and hello fall at 11:50 this evening. And no, we're not really feeling so much like fall, but like Anna said, we're not in the triple digits, so we will take it, right folks? 97 degrees for the high today in Tucson, 90 for Sierra Vista, 92 for Nogales, 93 for our friends down in Douglas. Now our first weekend of fall, not looking too bad, a little cooler I will say than what we're going to see today. In Tucson on your Saturday, 95 degrees on Sunday, just 1 degree shy of that. In Sierra Vista, 91 degrees on Saturday and 1 degree shy of that on your Sunday. Taking a live look on Tuamac Hill, more clouds in the mix than what we did see yesterday. Temperature wise, not too bad. It is more so on the faller side. 87 degrees in Tucson, 80 if you're in Safford, 79 degrees in Nogales, 88 for Marana, 85 in Benson, 78 for our friends down in Bisbee. We will start to cool down just a little bit, but the good news is already seeing the 80s by that 7 o'clock hour. So we're slowly but surely feeling like fall. Taking a live look at our satellite radar, just picking up that cloud coverage, not even any moisture. That's usually when we start to see those green dots start to pop up a little bit. We're not tracking any type of rainfall whatsoever. However, cooler temperatures are on tap, and that's because of that trough. We're going to see remnants of that more so on the Pacific Northwest. It's going to bring us those cooler temperatures. Now we're not going to get necessarily cold. However, that ridge of high pressure will once again return and warm us right back up to the upper 90s. Now I am not giving it a triple digit mark just yet, but we'll be a little shy of that. Today's forecast in our neighboring towns, if you're in Oro Valley, 96 degrees, Green Valley, 95, 92 if you're over in Wilcox, and 91 degrees for our friends over in the Benson area. That 7-day forecast, the first day of fall on Saturday, well, technically tonight at 11:50, but 95 degrees on your Saturday, 94 for Sunday. Kicking off Monday with warmer temperatures, 96 degrees, 98 on your Tuesday, and just shy of that triple digit mark on Wednesday, but I'm not feeling too confident to put a triple digit mark, and I feel like, Anna, no one's complaining either.
Right, everyone's like, that number better stay at 99. It better not go a single degree over that.
Absolutely.
So,
the good news is if, you want to get more of a fall-like feel at night is really more so.
yeah, and in the morning, I mean, I think we've talked about this. I've taken my dog out in the morning and been chilly. I had to go inside and get a jacket.
Right.
So we're definitely seeing that switch, that transition. And when you wake up in the morning, you start to feel that kind of crisp feel to the air. You're like, okay, fall's coming.
It's almost here. Right.
Not here yet, but it's around the corner.
It'll be here.
She's making her way on it.
Yeah, Mother Nature's going, hold on, I'm coming.
Yeah.
Women kind of like to take their time sometimes.
Yeah,
so.
Don't rush her, okay?
Right,
Do not rush that woman. Well, perfect. Thank you, Allie.
Absolutely.
And taking a look at some breaking news that we are following from overnight and this morning, and the United Auto Workers strike. Now, they said this morning that the union will be expanding that strike against major automakers. Union workers will walk out of 38 General Motors and Stellantis plants in 20 states. Ford was spared any additional strikes because UAW says that the company has met some of the union's demands during negotiations over the past week. That strike started last week against one major plant from each of the nation's big three automakers. So we'll continue to follow that. But one thing that everyone's talking about online is this story that you did, JD, and it's kind of, we were talking about, it's almost like a podcast, the coffee pot poisoning.
Yes, it's something that people definitely are going to keep following and wanting to know the updates. We've been wanting to know the updates, which is why we stayed on this. One of our own producers here found this story by looking in through the court records, and then they brought it to me, and we've been on this since early August. This, of course, is the case of Melody Feliciano Johnson, who's been arrested on domestic violence, attempted first-degree murder, domestic violence, attempted aggravated assault, and adding poison to food or drink. And I think that is, of course, why people are so interested in this. And it was only yesterday that we received the videos that were taken by a Tucson airman that was trying to show Tucson police that his wife was indeed pouring something into his coffee pot. He says it's bleach. He showed that he was testing the coffee. Perhaps we want to take a look at some of this.
Let's go ahead and take a look at that video so that people
through some of this. Now, this is actually video of him right now. It's video of him testing his coffee pot, and this was earlier this summer. And now he's walking over. He's going to take a test of it. You also have, then he had to set up multiple angles for police. Those original videos were not enough, and so he set up a camera in both the laundry room as well as walking from the laundry room to the coffee pot, which is what you see there. And then you ultimately see her pouring whatever she had in the laundry room, pouring that into the coffee pot. And that was enough for police to arrest Melody Feliciano Johnson. There's that video we were speaking about where he's actually testing the water in his coffee pot. It's coming out purple. Now, they arrested her in late July. This started back in March when he was living in Germany with her and their 15-year-old son. His coffee started tasting strange. It wasn't until he went to Italy for 3 weeks on a temporary deployment that he realized when he came back that, whoa, that coffee doesn't just taste odd, it tastes bad.
Yeah.
And that's when he started testing it. And he kept acting like he was drinking the coffee, recorded her when they got to Tucson. He did not want to do this in Germany, he said, didn't want to hold up them coming back. So he kept rolling these videos, but when he first took video of them in their housing on Davis Monthan, or at least their temporary housing, that was not enough for police. It wasn't descriptive enough, and that's why in July, and you can see in the upper left-hand corner, 16 and 18 of July, that he had those 3 cameras. Tucson police have taken these videos and put them together. And I think that that's also that question that's going to come up is because you have these different videos put together, it looks convincing, perhaps to us. Of course, someone who's defending this woman from being convicted of first-degree murder and aggravated assault and poisoning food or drink, they're going to have someone take a look at these videos, have the police explain how they put these videos together. I mean, you are getting this video from a third party. It's not as if police took this video. It is the airman who's going through a divorce from his wife. He had a hazard policy on him. And so that was something that in these police reports that we got last week, there's an interview between him and the detective. He's telling the detective that they had first tried to divorce back in 2020, then they reconciled, then things started to fall apart again. He filed for divorce from her in March, and so then the coffee started tasting strange. He came to find out she'd bought a house in the Philippines late last year. He found that out by accident. She didn't tell him, according to him in these interviews. And so that again is where he's telling the detective she's motivated, she wants to get my hazard policy. He had said he'd already shifted it over to someone else. We don't know if that's their son or not. That was blacked out in these reports, redacted, I should say. Meanwhile, in these reports also, Melody Feliciano Johnson says that she was sexually assaulted by her husband while in Germany. She did not report it because he would make it difficult to get back into the country. Whether or not this comes up in court, we don't know yet. There's something about setting up a trial. Nothing can really be by surprise.
Yeah.
So if these videos make it into the courtroom, we'll see if the fact that she's saying that she was sexually assaulted, if that comes up, we'll have to see, because the judge is going to determine what is worthy to go in front of the jury so that the jury can then decide what is worthy evidence of convicting her or not convicting her. And the next date is in November 6th.
Well, it's also just not an open and shut case because you see the video and you see, that looks like it could be bleach. You can't prove necessarily what was in the container. You can't prove when she's dumping the cup into the coffee maker that that's what was in there. So it's still a very active and open thing, and I think something that a jury's going to have to decide ultimately.
Sure.
But
I mean, we see the video of him testing it. We spoke to a defense attorney not related with the case yesterday, and he looked at these videos and he said, as a defense attorney, he's been a criminal defense attorney since 2007. So he says when you look at video like that, and he also said he has not seen anything like this in his career.
Yeah.
But the hands, the strips will leave the frame, the coffee pot will leave the frame of the video, and obviously this airman is doing what he can to prove this, but those things could be brought to question, of course, by a trial. But then again, when he goes and makes that more convincing, those more detailed recordings, and you can see that container looks like a bleach container, and why would she take anything from the laundry room
to put in coffee, right? And I think that's what's so fascinating about this case, because it's the person that you're married to, the person that you live with, something everyone does. Wake up in the morning, have a cup of coffee, and it can end up being the thing that potentially could kill you. So,
and he made that clear in these reports too, that by this time they weren't sleeping in the same room. He was not worried about the safety of their son. He knew that she wouldn't do anything like that to the son, and that actually this airman says he was the only one drinking the coffee. He set it up the night before.
Well, she sure wasn't drinking it.
I guess so, but
Yeah.
we'll have to see what the jury can come up with. And I think it's going to be a little while till we see this trial start, if it does. Who knows what could happen before the November trial date and what happens in that trial date.
So that's kind of next steps, what we're
That's
looking
next
at.
steps,
Perfect.
exactly. I should note, we did speak to the Pima County Attorney's Office briefly. They cannot comment on details of a case like this. It's ongoing, but they did say that an experienced homicide prosecutor, head of the domestic violence unit, received this case. So we know that it will be handled by an experienced prosecutor. We did try to speak to Melody Johnson in jail. According to the Sheriff's Department, she refused that request.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, JD. Appreciate
Certainly.
it.
Thank
Looking
you.
forward to any developments. Thank you.
Absolutely.
And something else we're keeping an eye on today is the U of A. Now, it's almost been 1 year since that shooting involving Professor Dr. Thomas Meixner. And so a big focus for the U of A has been school safety and how to keep staff and students safe on campus. So there's a new Office of Public Safety that works to help those who are struggling on campus before it's too late. The new Director of Threat Assessment and Management says that her office will also help bring more awareness just to mental health and any issues that can happen on a college campus. And she wants everyone on campus to know how and when to report something if they do end up hearing something that's concerning, whether it be from a faculty member, a student, or just somebody who frequents campus.
If you get some strange emails, don't wait until you've gotten numerous strange emails. Report the first one. And what that allows our team to do is to take a look at kind of the specifics of the situation and learn as much as we can about the person who sent it. And then it allows us to make recommendations.
Now, the office does work closely with the university police's department and also the dean of students. They say that the idea is if a report does come into the department, it will still get to the right place and the right people, and that they'll be able to take action on that immediately. And something else that's happening here at home, El Tour de Tucson kicks off in less than 2 months, and tomorrow is really the big starting event for all of that, getting those riders in, getting their feet wet before the actual tour. Jack Cooper has more on what events you can expect tomorrow as they kick off the Loop de Loop event.
Tomorrow morning is when thousands of you are going to be out along the loop all morning to take part in some morning rides. There's going to be some live music out here. You can get some food at some food trucks and a whole lot more and a whole lot of fun. Now, the event was created in part to help nonprofits find riders to ride for their cause, also for riders to find new groups and for training rides. But now leaders tell me they have this event to make sure that you're ready for that big race happening in November.
As we get about 2 months out, we realize that people really need to be getting on their bike, getting those miles in. So here's just a great opportunity. Come ride with your friends, come ride with your family. Free event for all. There's some music and entertainment afterwards. So just come have a good time.
Now, this year's El Tour de Tucson is expected to be one of the largest ever. Of course, people are going to be coming from all across the world to take part in this, and leaders tell me that registration has already been through the roof for months now. They're expecting over 10,000 riders, so make sure if you haven't registered to do so right away. Reporting along the loop, Jack Cooper, back to you.
Now, something else that you can look forward to this weekend coming up this Sunday, if you haven't seen them yet, you need to. Every single week, our very own Andrew Capasso sits down and talks with local or state officials, representatives about the issues that are impacting us here at home. And a big topic that we've been talking about recently has been migration. Just the street releases, everything that contributes to that and how people are working now to solve that crisis that we're seeing. So here's a preview of what you can expect in this weekend's Sunday Spotlight.
Coming up this weekend on the Sunday Spotlight, getting answers about that migrant surge happening on our southern border. The answers from the Department of Homeland Security. The latest number shows CBP agents are coming across 1,700 migrants every day. That makes the Tucson sector one of the busiest on the southwest border. Agents say 15,000 more migrants crossed into this country in July compared to June. Justin De La Torre is the Deputy Chief Patrol Agent for the Tucson sector. I asked for his response to claims agents aren't doing enough at the border.
When you have that volume of people that we're encountering, 1,700 a day, it is a strain. It does place a strain on our resources. We've expanded one of our soft-sided processing facilities here in Tucson to hold an additional approximately 500 additional people. So that's an adjustment that we make for temporary increases and surges.
I also asked what else is happening at the border to help. You can see my whole interview with the deputy chief this weekend on Sunday Spotlight. That's at 6 a.m. Sunday morning here on 13 News. I'm Andrew Capasso. Back over to you.
And here's a live look outside right now. Nice to see that cloud cover on your Friday. Not too hot either. Looking ahead at our 7-day forecast, we're seeing 97 today. And then the weekend actually cooler, 95 and 94. And then those overnight temperatures looking at 66 and 65. So should be a really nice weekend ahead of you. We'll continue to follow all of these developments as far as the auto workers strike, everything that is happening with that coffee pot case and all the craziness involved in that, and any updates that we get in about that and some of the cases that are actually going to court here today. And we'll bring you, of course, the latest on everything on our website and our Facebook page. We thank you guys for joining us. Look forward to seeing you at 2:30. Have a great weekend. Be safe, stay cool, and we'll see you guys next time.